Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing well. I got some notes today. We're going to be talking about, let's see here, America's labor shortage and how it is bigger than the pandemic. Okay, so without further ado, we're going to jump right in. This story is out of Yahoo. I'm going to actually link it below, and it's talking about the shortage of workers in the U.S. has become a flywheel of doom. Not my words, Yahoo's. Messing up our lives in society at large. And many of the underlying problems that led to the breakdown are bigger than the pandemic, okay? So let's look at the bigger picture. It says millions of immigrants, older workers, and mothers are missing from the labor force. Those labor shortages create problems like supply chain woes, school closures, and skyrocketing childcare costs. And some of those problems further exacerbate the workers' shortages. My wife will be so proud that I just pronounced that word sort of right. Exacerbate. Exacerbate. Mrs. Ninja, that one was for you. Okay, the US CEOs, because they poll these guys all the time, right? Because they're the big brains in the world, say labor shortages are the top threat to their business this year in a survey released by the conference board yesterday. Now, guys, I'm going to stop right there. Lots of people can call themselves CEOs. We hear it all the time. It's on a place called LinkedIn. The facts of the matter are, what this is really affecting is the non-CEOs or the mom and pop places, the restaurants, any small town USA. These are the places that are really being hit the hardest because with companies that are larger, they can always scale down, right? They have plans, or if you're a good CEO, you should have a plan to scale up and to ramp up and scale down your company, especially when it comes to labor. This really, really hurts the small mom and pop industry, and that's what absolutely kills me. But it also gets me excited because I believe that today, more than ever, is the time to start businesses in this country and actually worldwide to start to take our countries back. That's right. I know it sounds crazy, but remember, all of those large companies that you work for and you feel cushy and comfortable with your pension plan started as a small mom and pop, which means we can all take it back. All of the immigrants that came over from and landed in Ellis Island, the second they got off and they came through into America, they started to do something. They started to work with their hands, making shoes, opening restaurants, building homes. And that is what I believe we are coming into next, a renaissance of small businesses to take back our world, to bring us back. Anyway, sorry, I digress. All right, it says here, lost immigrants. Now, it's very interesting that this is the angle that they're going with. There are about 2 million fewer working age immigrants in the US because of the immigration restrictions due to the that thing. According to calculations from census data from 2 economists at the University of California. About 1 million are higher educated working age adults. The immigration slowdown began during the Trump administration. Interesting. You know, it's funny because I have friends that are from all over the world, and I live in California. You guys know we're literally a melting pot, and I love it. I absolutely love getting to know people from other countries, their cultures, eating their food, things like that. I absolutely love it, and that's what I think made this country so amazing because we are a melting pot, right? But I think it's very interesting because the facts are they want to focus on, let's say, people that aren't citizens. Whereas we have lots of people, all of my friends that aren't citizens here, they're still here and they're still working. And there are people that I know that are citizens that aren't working. It's very interesting to me, totally. Now, the Great Retirement. This is actually, I think, very important. This whole big spike in the world that slowed our economy down, or came to a grinding halt, let's say, caused many people to retire early. And that I think is very, very interesting. I'm going to put these notes down. People retired early. And what I think is very concerning about that is, and I get it, people don't want to work under certain conditions, or they go, man, it's just too difficult to do my normal style of working. So I'm just going to call it quits now. The problem is we're now seeing inflation start about 2 years after all of that started, right? If you get my drift. And people's retirements are sort of fixed. A lot of people's retirements are fixed. And even though The ones that are in the stock market, yes, the stock market's rising, but as we saw in Venezuela, inflation overtook the rise in the stock market. And I believe that's going to be the case again, where we're going to see sort of a squeeze on the world. I think that what's really, really interesting about a story like this, about the labor shortage being that massive, is I think it's really an amazing time to allow companies to separate themselves from the others. I have seen companies that have zero labor shortages, and it's because of the way they treat their employees. I have seen companies with massive labor shortages because all they're doing is dumping more rules and regulations on their employees. It's absolutely amazing to me, and I tell this to people all the time. This is the greatest time to reconsider where you work, because you can find the companies that are situating themselves better than others. They're putting themselves into a better position with the way they treat their team, the way they lead their team and their company. And I think you're going to see yesterday's massive conglomerates be tomorrow's bankrupted, completely closed failures, shells of a company. Whereas we're going to see yesterday's small mom and pop businesses with a vision be, that's yesterday's, tomorrow's great conglomerates, bringing out that leadership skill. I think that's what's amazing. I love how the press they're trying to put a spin on these things nowadays, but it's not working anymore. There are too many people waking up. And if you're one of those people that have been watching this channel, please consider subscribing, because this is a movement. This is something that's exciting. Today, more than ever, is the day to stretch out and turn your side hustle into something bigger, or go into a side hustle. It doesn't mean you cancel your whole life to do it. What it means is you work a little extra on the side and you start building something great, because I think that literally this is the day that we are going to see the men and the mice completely separated when it comes to owning a business. All right, guys, I hope you got something out of this. Thank you so much. The Economic Ninja is out.